Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today's Thursday, it's December the 15th. Just 10 days to go until Christmas. Hope you're doing well and not getting too stressed by all this activity around the end of the year. It's a kind of, I don't know, just significant time, isn't it? Well, it is certainly for me, where you just start thinking now, this is the time to start planning for next year. Just what things you're going to do a little differently, make those infamous New Year's resolutions. But just really just take the time to appreciate where you've been this year, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and to feel good about it. We've got so much going on for us in this beautiful world. And I've got my cup of tea this morning. I have gone with my very favorite green tea. And it's actually Twining's green tea, which is beautiful. And I hope that you're enjoying a cup of tea or coffee, or maybe a smoothie, or something that you do that's unique to your culture or to your personal taste. I'd love to know how you start your mornings. That'd be fun. But as I come every morning and do these shows for you, I think about all the different things that we're interested in, and try to pick out the things that are a combination of lighthearted and fun and positive, and then those things that are a little bit more important and it relates to our safety or to our health. And today I want to talk to you about something that I think everyone should be considering in their lives as they get into their 60s, and that is her health heart. How healthy is your heart? It's a very significant cause of death in our age group. I think it's one that we sometimes forget, because it's just sometimes not really many symptoms. It will the heart can be just doing its thing and then suddenly not do so well. So we have a great blogger. Her name is Sarah Brewer, and she has written an article that I'll leave you the link for, related to heart health. And she gives 10 questions that you should be asking yourself to see whether you've got a healthy heart. And of course, the research shows that a lot of the challenges around having heart disease are related to either unhealthy eating habits, or unhealthy, being obese and overweight, or having an unhealthy lifestyle. Doing something like smoking or putting extra pressure on your body. So those are the two things that you can obviously have control over. We can do something about it. But if you ask yourself these 10 questions, you'll kind of get further, a little deeper as to whether you might have a condition or have something that you should have a doctor check out. So the first thing that she suggests that we ask is, what is my risk? So to know, your family history, what was the history of health, a healthy heart, and whether you have anything you need to look for. Because some of it is genetic and some of it is related to your age, your gender, and of course the things that we talked about earlier, what you eat and how you live your life. There's actually two good links. A link she puts in her article. One is to a Q-Risk, which is in the US, and another one called the National Institute of Health, where you can do an assessment of your health risk for heart disease. So that's an important thing to check out. The next thing she suggests you ask yourself is, how often should I have my blood pressure checked? Now, high blood pressure does put a really intense pressure on your heart, because your heart's trying to pump the blood really fast if it's high blood pressure. And so it's important that you have your blood pressure checked, in her opinion, at least once a year. Now, if you live in the UK, if you go into Boots, the chemist, you can actually have your blood pressure taken. They have a machine there. You can always go into any drugstore in the United States, and they have a place where you can check your blood pressure. So it's important you can do it on your own. And it's really important that you, in Sarah's opinion, that you do this every year. Now, an average positive blood pressure reading is around 120 over 80. There's two numbers that are generated when you do a blood pressure test. And so that's 120 over 80 is perfect. If you're up to about 130, 135 over 80, over 190, over 90, it's okay. But anything over that is what's considered hypertension. And if you regularly have blood pressure reading, 160 over something, 180, it's really a time to take a look at your lifestyle, your eating, and go see a doctor, because you may need some medication to help you to keep that blood pressure, because that's what puts the pressure on your heart. And so obesity, for example, if you're overweight, that creates it makes it much harder for your heart to pump. So that's a really important. Blood pressure is important. The next question is my cholesterol okay? And cholesterol does actually have, if you have a family history of heart disease, you also tend to have a history of high cholesterol. And this is a topic I can remember years ago being controversy about where you got cholesterol from. And that's, in terms of eating eggs or eating fats. Now that's changing a little bit now. So, I think it's more or less having a balanced diet. There's not one thing that's going to create high cholesterol, but it's important to actually make sure your blood pressure is low and that you're not overweight. Those are things that really can affect your heart health. And also there's two different measurements of cholesterol. There's the total cholesterol, and then what's this HDL, which is good cholesterol. And you've got to have a kind of balance of those two things. I mean, and by the way, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you this information so that you can think about it. And also, probably a lot of you are nodding your head saying, yes, I know this. So if it is repeating, well, it's good that you're educated, but I want everyone to be healthy and happy. So the next question that Sarah asked you to think about is, should I be screened for diabetes? And if there's diabetes in your family, it's really worth checking, because of course this can sometimes sneak up on you. Type 1 diabetes does have some symptoms that you can just get a feeling for, like wanting to go to the loo a lot, and being thirsty, being hungry a lot, weight loss. These are things that point to type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes actually is a little more obscure, because it kind of creeps up with not such obvious signs. And so Sarah suggests that, if you look at your family history and get checked for diabetes, it's just a urine test at the doctor, when you do your regular annual or every year, 2 years checkup. So that is a good question to ask about diabetes. The next question to ask yourself is, do I need to lose weight? We've kind of intimated as we've gone along here that yes, this is really important. Even losing 10 pounds can really, really help you. And so keep your body mass index, which I think is the ratio of fat to body, not fat, is really important. So your BMI should be around 25. And if it's a little more than that, then you need to lose weight. And this, again, is something that you can check at the doctor. It's not a big, sort of procedure. It's just a very simple test. So that's important. Next question to ask yourself about heart health is my waist size okay? This is a good question, because apparently, again, the research is quoted in the article, is that people who store fat around their stomach are people who actually develop heart disease more frequently than others. And of course, having a lot of fat in your body really puts an impact on your internal organs, your liver, and then glucose, of course, and your blood pressure is affected. So your waist, I think for a woman, they say it's around 32 inches. If you're over 32 inches around your waist, then it probably means you're storing fat there. And it's if you could try to lose some weight around that area, that's really a good idea. Next question. There's 10 of them here. I think we're getting close to the end, but the next question is, how many calories do I need per day? And, this is all dependent on your weight, your height, your age, your activity, all these things. So you can't really say yes, lose calories or drop calories or not. But the point is if you want to lose weight, because of the earlier things we've talked about, you've got to lose weight by eating less calories and exercising, of course. And I think it's like 500 calories a day. If you can drop that, is very, very good to get your weight under control. And of course, there's some other things you can do too, like fasting, where you do these a diet, not a diet, but a diet of food that allows you to stop eating for a period of time every week, so that your body gets a chance to kind of regroup. So that's important. When it comes to heart, next question, and the second to last is when it comes to heart health, which is better, a low-fat diet or a low-carb diet? And of course, this has all been, up in discussions and up in the air for many, many years. Low fat does not always mean low calorie. Low fat could mean very high sugar or very high salt. So when you're buying low-fat products, be sure that you're not buying the carbs as well. So the answer to that question is really it's better to control both. It's good to eat fats in foods like avocados and coconut oil. These are some good fats that you need. And then there's good carbs. It's just finding the good in both and keeping those balanced. I think that's the whole secret. And then things like, she talks about oily fish, rapeseed oil, canola oil. Eat lots of that, but don't eat the stodgy foods and sugar. And of course, salt, super important if you have high blood pressure, to cut back on your salt intake. Hope this is helpful. I'm actually finding these all very interesting myself, and I can think of a few areas I could improve too. So the very last question that Sarah says to ask yourself is, how much alcohol can I drink? So answer is drinking 1 or 2 glasses, like 100 milliliters each, or 10 grams of alcohol of wine 2 or 3 times a week, no problem. It's totally okay. In fact, a lot of the people who live in places in Italy where they live to be 100 always drink a glass of wine every other day. So wine is okay for you. It's good for you. But a high alcohol consumption, this is more than 3 or more drinks a day, and every day, it can lead to fluid retention and other pressures on your liver. And so, of course, it's a pretty obvious answer to that question. So I think that's it on the 10 questions to ask yourself for heart health. We need our big hearts to be healthy. So I hope this has been a useful exercise. Take some time maybe today to sit down and ask yourself these questions. And next time you go to the doctor, have a conversation with him or her about that. I want to keep you healthy. And especially this time of the year when you're under a bit of pressure, you're rushing about a bit and lots of deadlines, and just need to stay strong and healthy. So thank you for being here, everyone. I hope this was a practical use for you. And I'd love to hear your comments on what you're doing to keep your heart and your body healthy in your 60s. And the question is, really, have you asked yourself any of these heart health related questions recently? I'd like to know what you thought about it, and leave your comments in the section below, and I'll join in and we'll have a conversation. So again, thanks for being here, everyone. I hope you have a fabulous day, and we'll see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care. Bye-bye for now.